Okay, I'm going to shoot a video as I head over to the property on Safari. I just want to give you some perspective of where this is. It is in Riverview. Right now we're on I-75 and we're taking the Apollo Beach exit. The Apollo Beach exit is kind of right on the line between Apollo Beach and Riverview. So it's the most southern exit to Riverview. There's two exits further north. So basically, when you get off this exit, if you were to take a left, you'd head towards Apollo Beach, right here. And if you were to take a right, as we are going to do, then we'll be going towards Riverview. Now, Riverview is a booming area. It really started to boom 10 years ago before the market crashed, and then and some people really overpaid for homes. And then when the correction happened, a lot of these homes went down in value, and so people got some really good deals as a result. The market has recovered, and now there's a mix of homes that were built 10 years ago, and then new construction has resumed over the last 5 years. So there's homes also that are built 2012 on, but most of the homes in this area are built in the last 10 years. Just a year or so ago, they put in a new hospital here, which we're coming up on the right. Right now, we're 3.5 miles from this property, just to put it in perspective. They recently built an Amazon depot not far from here. It's in Ruskin, so a lot of your Amazon packages come quickly. It's just a few miles away. You see the sign for the hospital. And then there's also a lot of restaurants here. There's been rumors for years that a mall would come. You know, maybe it will happen. There's the new hospital right there. But right now, your closest mall is up the highway to Brandon. Or from Brandon, you can go west to downtown Tampa. There's International Mall. So those are your two biggest malls. But there are a number of restaurants here, and it's a growing area. Now the next road we're coming up on is 301, which is another major road. It's a road, it's not a highway, but it goes north and south. It's a very long road, and we're actually going to head up 301 just a little bit. So the road we're on right now is called Big Bend, and the road that we're going to cross is Riverview. Now, right now we're 2.4 miles from the property, so your grocery store is right here. Publix for Florida is our grocery store. There's a Bell's department store, Marshall's, called Summerfield Crossing. One of the first subdivisions in this area was called Summerfield. If you cross over this road and go another mile down on your left, Summerfield's on your left and your right, actually. It's quite big. So that was like kind of one of the frontiers of this area. From the 90s, and this plaza has been basically the main go-to for Summerfield for the last 20 years. This light could be long because 301 is such a busy road. They let the people going through 301 get the priority of time. But once we get onto 301, we'll be real quick. It'll just be up the road on the right. This subdivision, I don't have the sheet in front of me because I kind of did this on the fly. I'm pretty sure this is Panther Trace that we're going to. Panther Trace is another subdivision that was built not long after Summerfield, probably in the early 2000s. It's really big. There's quite a bit of walking trails and jogging trails and public amenities, pools, stuff of that nature. Okay, we just got the green light. So I think we're going to be going into Panther Trace here. So right now we're 2 miles, and yeah, we are going to go into Panther Trace. I can see on my GPS, Panther Trace will be a turn of ours here in a few minutes. So right now we're heading north. If we stayed on this road, we would hit Brandon in about 10-15 minutes. And then up ahead on the right, just north of Panther Trace, there is a lot of new construction. As a result, another shopping plaza has been built in the last year or two. We're going to turn before we get to it, but it does exist. It'll be up ahead like another mile on the right. So here's Panther Trace. Panther Trace has 2 entrances because it's so large. So we're going to go into the most southern entrance since we came from the southern part. I couldn't even tell you how many homes are in this subdivision. Wouldn't surprise me if it was over 1,000. I could be wrong. Now, Panther Trace, like a lot of large subdivisions, has little neighborhoods, little subdivisions within it, and they have different names to it. So you can see over here on the right, we're coming up on Greystone. So Greystone's like a little pocket within Panther Trace, and there's probably 15 or 20 just like Greystone, but everything is called Panther Trace. And also, my GPS loves to do something screwy, so I'm going to trust my instincts here. It wants me to take a left, but then I do, and this is weird. And then once I do take a left, it wants me to continue to go up this road further. And like you see it where it says, take a left. I found from experience, that's not always the case. I don't know why it does that with Panther Trace. So I'm going to take a chance and see. There's a basketball area. So right in the middle here, you can see a lot of different play areas. There's a field. There's Stratford, like I said, another community. There's Ferncroft. Very, very family-oriented neighborhood. Alright, so I'm going to give in and take one of these left-hand turns that it keeps telling me to take. Hopefully I'm right. I don't know, maybe I did miss the turn. We'll see. if nothing else, I give you a chance to show you a little bit of Panther Trace, a little bit more of it. Like I said, this is pretty big. I'm probably only halfway into it. There's another main road just like 301, both of them going north and south, and Panther Trace connects to both. You can really drive through Panther Trace and get to the other major road. There's tennis courts. Alright, so this is Hawthorne. And I probably did go up the road a little bit further than I needed to. So, like I said, this is Hawthorne. Just one of many individual names. These homes were built around 2005. Most of them have 3-car garages. Not all of them. But Panther Trace, they keep up with this community. I mean, I really haven't seen anything run down or sketchy. It seems like everyone's homes and it seems pretty good. This does have an HOA. It does have a homeowners association. So with any homeowners association, there is going to be guidelines and rules and deed restrictions. I can get you the covenants and the rules on that. So offhand, I don't know what they are. Most every place says you can't have a boat or an RV. Here's a little cul-de-sac. The house was right back there. I'm gonna circle back around. Just showing you this little cul-de-sac. So this house is very close to a cul-de-sac. But like I said, every HOA is gonna have basic rules like no boats or RVs. But then others could have things that are a little more strict, like having to paint the house every so often or pressure wash the driveway. But they're just trying to protect everyone's property value. That's what they're doing. Alright, so this is the property. I'm going to do a little outside walkthrough and then I'll shoot a video inside the property. So you do got a 3-car garage. Now this house is an 05, so everything is likely original. But having said that, you should have life. Your roofs are generally 30 years at last 20. So you're talking 8 years left. Your ACs, they warranty them 10 years. Generally you can get 15 to 18 on them. So that's going on 12 years, am I right? Going on 13 years. So you're definitely, AC is probably year to year. You might get 3 to 5 out of it. Hot water heaters, they're not very expensive, maybe $400 or $500. Those are hard to tell. I've seen water heaters go 20 years. It does have gutters. Very quiet here, as you can tell. So I see a little bit of cracks. Not uncommon in Florida. Things shift and settle. But we'll keep an eye out if we see anything any more suspicious. But they say when you can stick a quarter between it, and that's concerning. You know, hairlines can be anywhere. Alright. Has sprinklers. So your property line is basically where this grass is. You can see down to the side. I see there's a light on inside. This house is supposed to be vacant. So maybe they left the light on. Let's give you a quick peek at the other side of the property. A lot of Florida properties don't have width or yard, elbow room. If you're lucky, you get some depth, but width is not very common. So that's the other side of the house. There's a direct TV. That's your water supply, your electric, your meter. They have a propane tank on the neighbor does, so they have gas with a propane tank. Okay, so I will shoot a video inside the property and go from there. Bye.